Let's talk about the situation at the border. We've seen a huge surge in migrants crossing the border. Your colleague, Veronica Escobar of Texas, called the conditions there unacceptable. She was there on Friday. Is she right? What more must be done?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear who you said.
These people are so disconnected from reality. They don't care about Hispanics. They don't care about migrants. Nancy Pelosi has no idea what's going on. She just gets a little transcript that's put in front of her with a couple little talking points. She doesn't even know what's about to be said. She has to be trained. She has to be coached. And on live TV, she doesn't even know what the freaking news anchor is even questioning her about. These people don't care. They don't care. And it clearly shows that they have no comprehension of what's actually going on. Nancy Pelosi does not care about what's happening at the border. She does not care about migrants. She does not care about Hispanics because they are nothing but a talking point on a little note card that gets put right in front of her before she does the news hit. And that is exactly what these communities mean to people like Nancy Pelosi. She's full of crap, but welcome to Drew Hernandez Live, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification, but also make sure to toggle on all, because if you do not, you will not get every single notification from this channel. If you leave it on personalized, which YouTube leaves on the default for you when you subscribe and hit that bell notification, you will not get every single notification of every single video that I post on this channel. So please do that for me right now. Subscribe, hit that bell, and toggle on all. It looks exactly the same on your phone or your mobile device that you're using right now. If you can do that for me, that would be a huge favor. And also make sure to share this video far and wide. Share this link on your Parler, your Gab, your Facebook, wherever you can drop a link. Okay, wherever you can drop a link, share this show, share this stream. You are the hands and feet of this movement. And also, guys, drop a comment in the comment section below. Let us know where you're tuning in from, your city, your state, your country. Also, smash that like button, destroy that like button. We do super chats at the end of every single show, Q&A format. So get your questions all in order. Think about what you want to ask, what you want to interact with me on. This is how you support the channel, the Tatum Report family. This is how you support this podcast, or you can donate at thetatumreport.com. We are run by the people, we the people. That is you, the people. We are independent alternative media. We're not CNN. We're not Fox News. We are supported by you. So super chats go a long way. And if you don't want to do super chat, donate directly at thetatumreport.com. This is the way. So here we go. Nancy Pelosi was questioned this weekend, over the weekend, about the border crisis, the border issue. This is now happening under the Biden administration. Trump is no longer in office. Biden is in office, installed, might I add. But it is now the Democrats' problem, because now the Democrats, they took the House, they took the Senate, they have their hands on all the levers of power. So now it is their responsibility for all of these things that are taking place in our country, but they will not acknowledge the crisis because now they will become responsible for it. And now they will have to take the blame for it. So now Nancy Pelosi has finally come out publicly, and this is the new talking point. She put out two, actually. One of them, she actually said the Hondurans, the migrant caravan, is fleeing global warming or fleeing climate change. Yeah, she really said that at the latter end of this interview, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. That's obviously an absurd statement. It's ridiculous. But there's a point in this interview that I wanted to show you guys, because it clearly shows that their incompetence, because listen, when someone doesn't tell you the truth, it means that they don't care. If someone really cares about you, they're going to tell the truth, because the truth will set you free, my friend. Jesus said that, right? And someone that cares about you is going to lay down the truth. Now that the Democrats cannot take responsibility, okay, for the border crisis, now they are literally blaming Donald Trump. They are literally blaming Donald Trump. If you don't believe me, here's a clip of Nancy Pelosi on ABC News, just looking like a total buffoon and clown. Take a look.
Let's talk about the situation at the border. We've seen a huge surge in migrants crossing the border since January. The number of children in custody higher than it was than its 2019 peak during the Trump administration. Your colleague Veronica Escobar of Texas called the conditions there unacceptable. She was there on Friday. Is she right? What more must be done?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear who you said.
Veronica Escobar.
Veronica Escobar, our colleague from representing El Paso, and yes, it is. Actually, the facts are these: there are more children, about 600-700 more children, unaccompanied children, coming over the border. This is a humanitarian challenge to all of us. What the administration has inherited is a broken system at the border, and they are working to correct that in the children's interest. I'm so pleased that the president, as a temporary measure, has sent FEMA to the border in order to help facilitate the children going from the 72-hour issue into where they are cared for as they are transferred into family homes or homes that are safe for them to be. So this, again, is a transition for what was wrong before to what is right.
That is literally a human being just talking out of their butthole, just hoping to the universe, like that you believe what's coming out of their pathetic, ridiculous mouth. Okay? Like, you take a look at this woman talking, all right? And she clearly is just hoping that you believe all of the garbage and trash that is coming out of her lips, which are words and mindless, not even thoughts, okay? These aren't even thoughts. This is just political jargon coming out of this woman's mouth. And you guys know how I feel about the border. You know I don't believe it's a Democrat or Republican issue, but it's interesting that the Democrats will not take responsibility. She's saying that they have inherited, that the president has inherited a broken system. Huh. That's interesting. Because I thought it was Joe Biden that started to retract some of the Trump policies that actually improved some of the problems at the southern border. Because when migrants in Central America discovered that Biden could possibly be president, that is what amped things up. Because when Trump was president, a lot of these Central American countries were refusing to come any longer because they knew that Trump would shut the door. Biden is the problem here, not Donald Trump. Top story of the hour, if we can get this up. Here's a article from Fox News. Pelosi blames Donald Trump for humanitarian challenge at the border. Inheritance of broken system. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pointed fingers at former President Donald Trump, insinuating that he's to blame for the crisis at the border during an appearance on ABC News this week, Sunday. This is a humanitarian challenge to all of us, she said. What the administration has inherited is a broken system at the border, and they are working to correct that. She's blaming Trump. She's blaming the past administration for this surge of immigrants and unaccompanied children, which is ridiculous. And I'm going to prove to you why tonight, okay? The immigrants were not so excited to come to the U.S. under the presidency of Donald Trump. They themselves are starting to come out and say that they believe that they should come to the U.S. because of Biden now. That's a fact. So this is just an idiot trying to lie through her teeth, hoping that the lemmings that listen to her on CNN, ABC, the list goes on, actually believe the garbage that's coming out of her mouth. That's what this is. Okay? She depends on you being an idiot. She depends on you being mindless to even think about what I'm going to talk about tonight, okay? It goes on to say Biden's latest correction announced Saturday by Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas includes a government-wide effort to house migrant children with support from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, as numbers continue to rise. The speaker confirmed there are nearly 600 to 700 more migrant children currently approaching the southern border, which triggered the president's directive to send FEMA, sounds like a crisis, to facilitate the transfer of kids from border care facilities and into safe homes. I really would like to know what these safe homes really are. And we're going to talk about that tonight as well. And there's part of the clip. The article goes on to say, under Biden's open border policies and promises to provide asylum for those seeking it, the U.S. has witnessed a massive influx of migrants at the border, causing an overflow in detention facilities. According to Daily Mail, facilities are over capacity by almost 700%. This is all because of the dog whistling of Democrats and the Biden administration, and radical socialists and useful idiots like Antifa. Yet the administration and Democrats like Pelosi would rather refer to the overwhelming numbers as a challenge instead of a crisis. I don't care what you call it. Just acknowledge that it is a serious issue. In recent weeks, the number of unaccompanied children and family units, so-called family units, in custody has tripled, and there were more than 100,000 migrant encounters in February alone. This is under Biden. The drastic jump directly followed Biden's inauguration and his first executive order halting southern border wall construction. And you mean to tell me, Ms. Pelosi, that this is an inherited broken system? No. This sounds like an administration and a political party that's dog whistling to third world countries that now is the time. Because now you have an administration that is open to letting people into the country that are claiming asylum. Of course, they're going to be coming in the thousands. Now that orange man gone, now's the time. But Nancy Pelosi depends on you to be an idiot, to not think these things through, add them up, and come to a logical conclusion that the reason why we have such a serious crisis at the border is not because of Donald Trump. You have to be an idiot to believe that. It's because of Biden, period. These radical Democrats are causing these problems. Just last week, former President Donald Trump blasted President Biden's handling of the border crisis, saying the country is being destroyed by the recent surge of illegal migrants at the border. And it goes on to talk about Trump's comments. So let's pull out of this. There's one thing that I wanted to say about this before we continue is, how is this a broken inherited system when you have gone back on Trump's policies predominantly at the border as well? It sounds to me that the logic of the Democrats, with Biden literally running, Biden didn't run on anything significant other than orange man bad, and I will overturn all of the bad orange man's policies to make you all happy, right? That's all Biden ran on, literally. That's all he ran on. That was his message. And in my opinion, I think it was a message that a lot of stupid people actually bought into. They didn't even think about Biden's cognitive decline, that he's too old. They didn't even think that is he even strong enough mentally, physically? Is he even capable of going 4 years, 8 years? I don't know. Who cares? We just need to get Trump the hell out of office. People literally voted that way. That was it. Literally. That was the 2020 election. No policy, nothing. Just get rid of Orange Man. Now, I say that to say this is the logic of the Democrats right now with Joe Biden was to overturn what Donald Trump had done from the border all the way to education, right? And this is why we're starting to see the negative impacts at the border, because not only did Joe Biden roll back some of Trump's policies that actually benefited some aspects of the southern border, but President Biden and Democrats have been dog whistling to these South American countries. Yeah, they say, oh, no, now's not the time to come. But when you come out and you start to make statements saying you will guarantee asylum, these people living in these third world countries that are desperate, they view that as a green light. Okay? When you're desperate, when you're living in survival mode, and this is all you have to live for, this is all you're hanging your hope on, is a president insinuating that there's hope, that those that are claiming asylum could be led into the United States of America. The smallest little insinuating, the smallest little indication that you give, that you signal, that you dog whistle, okay, is going to cause an entire caravan to think that now's the time to come to the United States. Now it's too late. Now Psaki, they're all backtracking. She's circle back Psaki. Now they're backtracking, saying now's not the time to come to the U.S. Now it's too late. It's too late. A lot of these people are getting raped, murdered, and kidnapped on their way from Honduras, crossing Mexico to get to the United States southern border. It's too late. You've already put these people in such a dangerous situation, dangerous environments. This is not love, compassion. This is not the way at all, in any way, shape, or form. And the Biden administration and Democrats are doing more damage to these Hispanic Latino communities than good. Little kids, women, and children. This is not doing them any good in any way, shape, or form. They created a crisis and they won't even acknowledge it. And they're going to sit here and tell me as a Hispanic man that you care about Latinos and Hispanics? Get the hell out of here, Nancy. Be gone, thought. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, AOC, none of you. Until a single Democrat comes out and starts addressing the human smuggling problem, I will listen to you. Until you do that, shut the hell up and stop pandering and acting like you care about Latinos. Because if you did, you would address these things. Because this is what we care about. Latinos are all about familia, am I right? Especially for those of you that are listening to me right now that are Latinos. Anyone that puts family in this kind of dire, dangerous, evil situation does not care about familia. Don't listen to these politicians that just use you. They use you for votes. They use you as political pawns. That is all you are. That is all you are. To even some Republicans and conservatives, that's all you are, is a talking point. I'm not giving you conservative talking points. I'm giving you truth, son. I'm telling you the truth about what's taking place at the southern border. The human smuggling issue is a humanitarian strategic crisis. This is an issue of evil. This is not a right or a left issue. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue of evil. They will not take the blame. And I'm going to explain tonight why they won't take the blame as we go a little further. All Nancy Pelosi is doing, this is scripted. Do you see Nancy looking down at her card, looking down at her notes? She's asking probably the producer or her handler, what do you say? And she doesn't even remember the name. She's got to look at her card. These people don't care, bro. They don't care. They don't care that there's women being raped. Little girls. They don't care that there's little kids being kidnapped at the border, coming over. Because these cartels, these Falcons and Coyotes, they tell these people, hey, if you have a kid, we'll give you a lower price, like $3,200. You have a kid, then you can go. Little kids are getting kidnapped over this stuff. And they won't even call it a crisis. They won't even acknowledge that there's a serious issue taking place at the southern border, and I'm supposed to believe that these people care about us? No, absolutely not. Because if you cared, then mention the smuggling. Mention the human trafficking of Latinos, Hispanics taking place right now. The Hispanic community, Latinos coming from these Central American countries, are literally living through modern day slavery. That's a fact. That's a fact. And ain't nobody talking about it. All these radical SJWs, Antifa is now rioting at ICE facilities. BLM is completely silent because they only care about themselves and their black supremacy. Literally, period. That's a fact. Nobody else is talking about this on the left. No Democrats, no socialists, no communists, all these humanitarian people that want to fight for world peace and equality for all and human rights. Well, what about these people that are being smuggled and put into trade of human beings? It's a business. And if they really cared about this, they would address it. And they would attempt to speak out against it and work against it. I've seen no policy. I've seen none of this. If you agree with anything I am saying, drop a 1 in the comment section below and smash that like button. Let's get this thing up, guys. Let's smash that like button. If you're in this chat, smash that like button. Do me a huge, huge, huge favor. So, Nancy Pelosi is an idiot, and she's literally trying to tell me, okay? Nancy Pelosi is trying to tell me that the human smuggling taking place at the southern border, little kids being kidnapped, women being raped, people being brought over into this country out of desperation, all right? Nancy Pelosi is trying to tell me that it's Trump's fault. Okay, let's see what the migrants are saying, all right? What are the migrants themselves saying? Are they blaming Trump? What are they saying? Before I read this stuff to you, I want you to ask yourself, is Nancy Pelosi even considering what the migrants themselves are saying? That's what we need to determine. I don't care. What's in their minds? What are they thinking? How do they view this? Well, let's get this up. Another article from Fox News. Migrants stuck at Mexico border thought they'd get easier entry. And they quoted them saying, "Biden promised us." Authorities cite a public health order to turn back at least 70% of migrants. Mexico continues to struggle with the sharply rising number of migrants turned away at the U.S. southern border, with many claiming they were promised by President Biden. These are migrants, Nancy, okay? These are migrants. What are they, little white supremacists? Huh? You gonna sit here and start trying to pull that BS on us? No. These are the migrants that are being interviewed, and this is how they view this, okay? And they are quoted by saying, with many claiming they were promised by President Biden that they could enter the country. The increased focus on the border situation has brought journalists to Texas, where the problem is most severe. Migrant camps litter the border with camps of dozens of hundreds of people who are either waiting to enter the United States or were just turned back. So now you have a bunch of people from Honduras, for example, that are now stuck in Mexico without any citizenship, and they will either be recruited by cartels, raped, or forced to, or killed and thrown in some kind of death ditch. That's a fact. That's what happens. That is what happens when these people do this. New York Times reporters witnessed a number of incidents where migrants were turned away from the border. Most were in tears, with some saying, "Biden promised us," as they returned to Mexico. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Nothing. Not a single thing. Biden is in that damn Oval Office. Democrats are now in power. Donald Trump is at Mar-a-Lago. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. And the migrants themselves are, whose name is in their mouth? Is it Trump? Are they saying, no, this was Trump's fault? This is all. No. They are saying Biden. Biden. Other interviews were conducted and they were saying Biden promised us that everything was going to change. One woman traveling with her son, told the New York Times, he hasn't done it yet. And I quote, this is what she said: Biden promised us that everything was going to change. She also said he hasn't done it yet, but he is going to be a good president for migrants. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is the false hope you're giving these people. Cruz paid $9,000 to a coyote for her trip. Did you guys see my interview on Steve Bannon? Did you guys see me talking about there's price tags on human beings? There's price tags on families. There's price tags on children. It's an entire business, okay? There's two different cartels that function. There's actually cartels that are at war with each other, economic war. Sinaloa is one of them. And another one, I believe, is by the name of, what is it? I have it here for you guys. Sinaloa and CGNG, I believe. These are two cartels that are at war with each other. I'm going to get into that as we continue, but there are price tags on human beings. Little kids go for around $3,200. Some families get charged $9,000. There are price tags on human beings in order to get them over to the United States. This is how these smugglers make money. Sometimes they rape the women, they rape the kids on the way, they'll kidnap. Dude, this is not a safe business, okay? And these guys have a monopoly on human beings. Let's continue. Another migrant, Jetner, believed that his life would change 180 degrees because he was about to walk across the border, but he was also immediately turned around. The combination of the coronavirus pandemic and natural disasters, including multiple hurricanes and earthquakes across Central America, has driven people from their homes in hopes of entering the United States. Coyotes, human smugglers, have preyed on that desperation and taken advantage of migrants, offering them promises of entering the country under Biden's administration. This is how they make money, gang. They utilize Biden. Customs and Border Protection officers have encountered over 100,000 migrants at the border in February alone, highlighting how overwhelming the situation has become. Let's pull this down. Now, let's talk some serious stuff, okay? I know that a lot of you guys know me because I've done a lot of work with exposing Antifa, going undercover, embedding with Antifa, embedding with Black Lives Matter. I've gotten into cars with these people. All the crazy footage you've ever seen me go viral. I went over, I think, like 40 million views on Twitter alone, just exposing Antifa and Black Lives Matter. I'm going to continue to do that, but now I kind of have my eyes on something a little more, I believe, extreme right now. And I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm not doing this because, I just need a hot story. This is something that is not being talked about. And it is now the human smuggling issue at the southern border and the cartels. So I've been conducting a lot of interviews with Border Patrol, National Guard individuals, former chiefs that worked at the border, and I've been accumulating a lot of intel, a lot of interviews being conducted, a lot of things, experiences, stories, statistics. So there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe from me. You guys are gonna see some very thorough investigative work in regards to these cartels and what's taking place at the southern border. Now, the reason I say this is you guys are gonna start to hear me say some stuff about this. And this is not like this is not Republican. This is not Democrat. This isn't me being a conservative. This has nothing to do with any of this. Okay. One of the main problems that's happening at the southern border is the human smuggling issue. And one aspect that I want to talk about this with you guys tonight is I've shared stuff with you guys in the past few podcasts. There's just so much information that I've been learning about the horrors of what's taking place at the southern border and even the journey from Honduras or from these Central American countries through Mexico to the United States southern border. But what I wanted to share with you guys tonight is just how organized these cartels really are in the United States. Okay? When you see the coyotes on the other side, right? You have a migrant family. Let's just talk about a real family right now. Okay? When you have a migrant family that's coming from Central America, from Honduras, for example, Let's say they survive the journey. All right. Let's say they survive the journey to the southern border on the Mexican side down in that region. They will instantly be encountered by coyotes. They will instantly be encountered by cartels that will offer them prices. If you have a little kid, you can get a lower price of $3,200. We'll give you passage over the southern border. Or in some cases, they will charge people between $9,000, $10,000, $12,000. Actually, I believe if you're Asian, they'll charge you like $20,000 if you're trying to get into the United States through the southern border because they believe Asians have more money. This is literally how these people function, okay? So if a family's coming, and let's say that they charge them like they charged that one woman, $9,000, right? These people don't have $9,000, right? What makes you think that someone coming from such a poor country like Honduras has $9,000? Think with me. You guys need to get this. Do not miss this. This is important information that you guys are not going to hear from anywhere else, okay? Let's say that this woman that got paid $9,000 or a family, right? They get charged $9,000, right? The coyote says, we'll bring you and your family for $9,000. Let's go. Yes or no? Do you think they have $9,000 to just drop like that? No. How do you think this works? Okay. The cartels, they function in Mexico. They function worldwide, but the cartels, they function in the United States. The cartels have businesses in this country. You are aware of this, right? Cartels, anywhere you can think of. I've done interviews with Border Patrol agents that are working on the job right now, and they explained it this way. Anywhere you can imagine where a Mexican or a Latino or a Hispanic person that doesn't speak English could be working at, that's more likely where these cartels own businesses. Dudes that make pools, the guys that you see at Home Depot. It could be anything. It could be a car dealership, washing cars. It could be a car wash. It could be anywhere. These cartels own legitimate businesses in these countries. So here's what happens. Stay with me. Here's what happens. If they get charged $9,000, they get safe passage into the United States, and now they're put into a human smuggling operation where they have to work off their debts. In some cases, these cartels will set up routing numbers and bank account numbers for these people in the US, so when they come, that's where their debt is. And if they owe them $9,000, they'll take them into the United States, they'll hook them up with a job that the cartels own, and these people, let's say they have to do hard labor with construction, hard labor with building pools, or hard labor with you name it, at a car wash. But they don't pay them minimum wage. They pay them crap. So they could be stuck their entire lives working, making crap wages to pay the cartels that $9,000 debt, and that could be their entire lives. Now they're enslaved to these people. And the cartels are so dangerous that if they don't pay their debts, they'll kill them, they'll kill their family, they'll kill everybody, and they'll never be heard from again. And they can't complain about it because who are they going to complain to? They don't have papers. They don't have citizenship. What are they going to do? Call the HR and complain and say that I'm being taken advantage of? They're not paying me minimum wage. They're not paying me anything. They're paying me what? Maybe what? $15 a week? Maybe, I don't know. To cut trees, cut grass. They're enslaved, paying off these debts their entire lives. Now, one thing that I want to explain to you is this is all the way the cartels work. I'm telling you guys some crazy stuff. This stuff could probably get me killed someday. But you know what? These are things that we have to talk about. The way that these cartels work, they work from these foreign countries. The organization is global, all right? But the process starts in these countries. The cartels make them false promises. They give them false passage. It starts in Honduras. Okay, for example, it works through Mexico. The cartels, the coyotes, the Falcons, they get these people, they work the business deals, they get their bank accounts set up in the United States, and the cartels in the United States pick up the process from the guys in Mexico that brought these people over the border, and they hold them accountable to these debts. The cartels function in these countries and they function in the United States of America. And they have legitimate businesses, and it is a form of human slavery because these people cannot live their lives freely. They have to live their lives paying a debt. That is just one instance of an entire complex situation as to what is happening. It's signing a deal with the devil. That is exactly what one of the Border Patrol agents told me today, is that basically what happens to these people is that they have to make a choice as to whether or not they want to sign a deal with the devil. And one aspect about the human smuggling, think about it, right? The drug trafficking is bad. It's happening. It's an issue. The gun trafficking is bad. It's an issue, right? These are all issues. But these are issues that they view humans as a commodity. A human being can make more money than a drug deal, right? A human being can make more money than a gun deal. These are quick deals, right? This is quick income. But with a human being, you could be getting a paycheck for as long as this person lives and as long as this person is in debt. And this is what AOC is not talking about. This is what Joe Biden, this is what Jen Psaki, and honestly, I really would like to see some more Republicans and conservatives talk about this, because these are the issues at hand. If these are the real issues at hand, then these are the things that need to be addressed, talked about, and combated, because human smuggling is a massive multi-million-dollar enterprise across not only Mexico, Honduras, Central America, the United States, but the world. The world. These people are making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You want to hear some other crazy stuff? I'll give you this. Did you know that some of these men, right, that are claiming asylum, because Mexicans don't get asylum, you know this, right? They don't. Only these people coming from Honduras, Central America, only they get asylum. So what's happening is with the Border Patrol down at the border, Texas, Arizona, what's happening at the border is because the Biden administration came out and they were insinuating that they would give asylum to those that are claiming, it's causing a crisis on the other side of things. So what's happening is a lot of young men, right? Men between the age of 26 and 36, right? That look young. They will literally pose as 17-year-olds. They will say that they're 16. And some of these men are being let into the country. Because right now the Biden administration is saying, well, we want to have compassion, with the kids, the unaccompanied minors, okay? Minors goes all the way up to what? 18. So if someone is claiming to be 17 years old, they could be let into the country and designated a minor. These people get put into homes, and they could possibly be put into the public school system as well. Now, what Border Patrol agents are telling me and they're briefing me on is the problem that they're having right now at the border is some of these young men between the ages of 26 and 36 years old that are posing as 17-year-olds that could get away with it. It is impossible to vet them because they will throw out all of their papers, all of their citizenship. They will come and claim that they don't have any. So it is impossible to vet their age. So you could be having a 26-year-old pedophile that's posing as a 17-year-old man be led into the United States, caught, released, or somehow even put into the school system because he posed as a minor. Does this make anybody comfortable in this freaking chat right now? In this live stream? This is happening now even more frequently in this country because of Biden's literal mishandling of border policy. These cartels are at war with each other as well. These cartels are at war with each other. I had a conversation today with a Border Patrol agent. I'll just leave it at that. And one of the things that was shocking, that was absolutely shocking to me, was what I explained to you guys tonight about how the cartels have businesses, they're forever stuck paying debts. Now, let me ask you this before I get into the rest. Is this a good life for anybody? Is this the American dream? When you hear Democrats and leftists dog whistling to these third world countries coming out and saying, They just want to live the American dream. They don't want to live in those countries. We should let them in. They're dreamers. They should have the same opportunities that we do. That's not what they're getting, son. They're coming into this country and being enslaved. Those that actually make it across the border, that are being charged by coyotes, a lot of them have thousands of dollars of debt, and they have to deal with these cartels for the rest of their lives. And AOC doesn't talk about this. Antifa's not out rioting over this. I don't see them out there calling out the cartels. Actually, I got some intel today that Antifa is actually working alongside of some of the cartel operations. More on that to come. That's just a preview, which is very interesting. Antifa, we all know they're worldwide, but Antifa is actually getting some action done at the southern border on the Mexican side. So go figure. Wrap your mind around that. But as I was saying, one of the Border Patrol agents I was having a conversation with today, we were talking about this, and the Sinaloa cartel and the CGNG, I believe I have that right, or I believe it's CGNG cartels. They're at war with each other, right? You hear the stories of the shootouts. You hear the stories of the killings that take place at the southern border. The cartels are at war with each other. Okay. But one thing you have to understand about this is it's not just a violent militarized war where they're just shooting back. It's not like gang wars. It's also economic competition as well. All right. And these cartels, they only view these people as commodities. What does that mean? They only view these people as dollar signs, something to make money off of. Okay. So when you think about that, these cartels are in competition. When Democrats or leftists come out and they dog whistle, United States, Orange Man gone, now could possibly be the time. We'll give asylum seekers free passage. Now's the time, right? When that happens, you know what happens? These cartels, they mobilize. And then they start competing with each other for business. Okay? It's literally like Microsoft and Apple competing each other with their newest technological devices to get it out to the consumer and make a dime off of it or make millions of dollars off of it. So instantly these cartels, they compete with each other. They kill each other over this stuff. They'll kill, let's say if Sinaloa gets a good business deal, they charge $10,000 to a family. They'll encounter each other. They'll kill each other, or they'll kill the family to kill the business deal so they don't get the money. All they do is see these people as dollar signs. That is all they see. That is it. That is it. They're trying to get a monopoly on human beings. You understand that? You listening to me tonight, guys? These cartels are attempting to get a monopoly on human beings, and Joe Biden will not even address it or call it a crisis. Jen Psaki, Nancy Pelosi will sit here and blame that it was inherited from a bad administration from before. When these cartels are at war, they only view these people, these migrants, as business deals, and they will kill for money. What do you guys think about that? It's not a left issue. It's not a right issue. That's an issue of evil. And these people won't even address any of this. When you hear these cartels that they compete with each other, they have economic competition. I'm not talking about an iPad, bro. I'm not talking about economic competition between freaking Apple and Microsoft. I'm not talking about an Android phone and an iPhone. I'm talking about human beings. They compete over these desperate migrants. These desperate migrants. They only see them as an opportunity to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this has been going on for a while. Now it's just finally coming to surface. You know, a lot of this, unfortunately, did happen under the Trump administration. Trump, in my opinion, Trump didn't do enough to combat human smuggling. A lot of people aren't going to like me saying that. But a lot of Border Patrol agents actually are saying these things. And that's a whole other story. But these are things that have been taking place for decades, okay? And the reason why I come out and I'm addressing this is because these things need to be addressed, they need to be exposed, and they need to be dealt with. Because right now we're talking about communities that are being literally monopolized, and they're humans. And they're humans. It's labor. And this is what they do. And it's not good. If you agree with anything I'm saying, destroy that like button below. And I wanted to leave it at this. And, you know, when you talk about these situations, you know, these aren't, I know this is a political podcast, but, you know, this is a situation where if we're going to tackle this, here's why I think Joe Biden and Democrats will not address this. Number one, I believe they're fully aware that these things take place. And I believe they're to some extent involved. To what extent, I don't know. But what I do know is that I don't believe for 1 second that Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I don't believe for 1 second they don't know with the tools and resources that they have. If I can figure this stuff out as an investigative journalist, what the hell does Nancy Pelosi know? If I could figure this out as an investigative reporter, what the hell does Joe Biden know? We're talking about presidents here. We're talking about congresswomen. We're talking about a Speaker of the House. If I could figure this stuff out and contact Border Patrol agents, former chiefs, and figure out this intel, what the hell do they know? Why wouldn't they address it? Either A, they're in on it to some extent. This is allegedly. Or B, they're afraid of the cartels. And I don't know how deep this goes. But C, I'll say this. If the United States, listen, as organized as this is, with businesses in the U.S. that are functioning and thriving, we're talking millions, guys. These cartels are a worldwide enterprise. And they leverage business in the United States. Okay? These roots spread so far in the U.S. Okay? If Democrats and Republicans, I think, start to seriously expose the things that we're talking about and they start to go after them, this could potentially end up being some kind of war on our home soil. This is how dangerous this is. How far will these people go to defend their enterprise? How far will these people go to defend their businesses? A lot of these business deals happen under the table, illegal. You'll never hear about them. A lot of these networks, they happened under the table. You'll never hear about them. I think Democrats and maybe even some aspect of Republicans, I believe they won't touch this because they know that once they acknowledge it, they're going to have to deal with it. And it is a serious criminal enterprise that's getting people raped, killed, and kidnapped. And I think they're going to have to acknowledge that we might have to seriously go after some people in the United States. But it's interesting, right? What just happened after January 6th? FBI was mobilized. Oh, domestic terrorists, right? Stormed the Capitol. They're going after people at their own homes. If they can do that, why can't they go after something like a criminal cartel enterprise? It really makes you think, doesn't it? Because I don't want to hear this garbage anymore that, you know, oh, well, you know, these resources are just, it's too extensive and it's a real big job if you really think about it. Dude, I watched the FBI mobilize so quickly after January 6th. I've never seen anything like it. To go after QAnon supporters. To go after people that were at the Capitol. Makes me think, what is the FBI? What is the federal government? What is taking place in our country? Or what's not taking place that should be with these criminal cartel enterprises in our country? This is probably happening closer than you think. Closer than you think. And it makes you wonder if the FBI, if the government can mobilize so quickly against insurrectionists, why aren't they going after these guys? I think that's a question I'm going to look to answer soon. So we'll see. We shall See. All right, guys, let's do a couple super chats before I end. We have a few minutes remaining. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys would like to support me, support the Tatum Report, support this podcast, you guys can leave a super chat below, ask a question. I will answer it. Or you can donate directly at thetatumreport.com. The link is in the description below. This is how you support independent alternative media. We are supported by the people, we the people, that is you the people. So we thank you guys for your contributions. We thank you guys for your support. So I think we have a couple super chats, and I wanted to get to these before we end the show like we do every single show. I like to kind of just go back and forth with what's on your guys' minds. Anything I said, anything you like, please smash that like button if you love this transmission tonight. And let's get to some super chats immediately. Alrighty, I think we have a couple right here. We have one here from Whatever and Everything. We salute you. Whatever and Everything says, Drew, you keep it official, speaking straight facts. I made a hip hop track called 2 + 2 = 5. Check it out. I salute you and everything you do. God bless. We salute you, Whatever and Everything. I would definitely like to listen to that. I'm a huge hip hop fan. One of my favorite tastes of music, apart from electronic. I'd love to hear it. Send me a link where I can find it. If it's on Spotify, I'll probably listen to it while I'm working out. I work out every single day. You have to stay healthy. So thank you, Whatever and Everything. Speaking facts is what we choose to always stick with. If you're speaking truth, you'll always end up on the right side of history. I truly believe that. Debbie Cannett. Thank you, Debbie. We salute you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Debbie says, getting Orange Man out of office using basement Joe Pelosi. America is not broken idiots. We Americans blame Biden for his invitation to the USA. God bless you, Drew. Debbie, one thing that just breaks my heart is like, we do have a lot of idiots in this country. We have millions of people that refuse to listen to the truth. Like, it's one thing to be ignorant, to not know something, right? But it's another thing to be willfully ignorant. To like sit there and say, I don't want to know the truth. I don't care. It's like, well, why don't you want to hear the truth? Because I don't like you. It's like, okay, well then you're just an idiot. Because why? You're just letting your emotions cloud the facts. You're letting emotions cloud your ability to better judge and analyze things. So you're going to refrain from hearing the truth because you don't like somebody? Sounds like a dumbass to me. I'm just going to be completely honest. Like, who thinks that way? Like, who honestly thinks that way? Millions of people in this country, they are willfully ignorant. They willfully reject and close their eyes to these things. Because I could sit here and drop all these facts all day long. But immediately somebody will probably tune me out because they're on the left. Oh, he's just a conservative. I don't want to hear it. It's like, you don't want to hear about people that are being human smuggled? What the hell's wrong with you? You're going to sit here and virtue signal and say you're on the side that is more humanitarian than the bigoted conservatives? Shut up, dude. Ridiculous. If you agree with that take, drop a 1 in the comment section below and smash that like button. Truly appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for supporting us. If you guys would like to leave a super chat, do so right now. This is how you support this podcast. This is how you support this show. But this is how these people function. They do not care. This is all like, this is pure political talking points. When you watch Nancy Pelosi, and hey, you guys know me. I will not for 1 second hold back on Republicans or conservatives. I want to hear more of this from Republicans and conservatives because this is not a partisan issue. Not at all. This should be bipartisan. How the hell can we not come together as a country and sit here and claim about human beings and not even talk about humans being smuggled and trafficked and enslaved and thrown into debt? These cartels set this stuff up. They set up their bank accounts. They charge them. Okay, $9,000. All right. When you get on the other side, here's your routing number. Here's your account number. Go to this specific location. XYZ will get you a job and you'll be working for that to pay your debt for the rest of your life. Well, how much money am I going to make? It's not like working at Walmart, bro, and you get paid minimum wage. It's hard work labor and they pay them nothing. Nothing. And the ones who win in the end are who? The cartel, son. They keep all the thousands of dollars that these people are doing hard labor work. Let's say they do exist. Let's say you have a cartel business that builds pools. All these Hispanics come that don't speak English. They're doing hard labor. Let's say a cartel pays five of these guys, let's say like $1 an hour for a whole month straight, building a pool, 2 months straight, right? $1 an hour for 2 months straight. And their debt is $9,000. Yet the cartel will charge the person wanting the pool how much? Over $100,000? Who knows? And they pocket all that money. And who gets screwed in the end? The migrants. So I don't want to sit here and be told by Nancy Pelosi, oh, this is Trump's fault. Oh, I don't want to hear from AOC. We care about AOC. We care. It's like the Holocaust. These kids in cages. We just kids. Like, you don't care. Because if you cared, you would talk about this stuff, AOC. Freaking fake Latino over there claiming to care about Hispanics, trying to get a monopoly on the Hispanic community. Listen, I'll tell you one thing. Anyone that tries to be the voice of a race, stay the hell away from. That is literally a God complex. Ain't nobody the voice of black people, okay? Ain't nobody the voice of white people. Ain't nobody the voice of Mexicans. That is like such narcissism to sit there and be like, I speak for all Hispanics. I speak for all black people. It's like, who the hell do you think you are? You speak for an entire race? The hell? That's some serious narcissism. Yeah, I might agree with you on a couple things, but you don't speak for me, son. I speak for myself. I wouldn't dare come out and be like, oh yeah, I represent the Hispanic community. Oh yeah, I'm the voice of Hispanics. No, thank you. No, I'm not that narcissistic. Yeah, a lot of Hispanics might agree with me, but I don't speak for everybody. Think your own thoughts. Have your own opinions. Analyze yourself with your own mind. And if you and I agree with each other, fist pump, bro. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're brown. Let's just get to the truth. That's what I wanted. Okay, we have some more super chats, I think, coming in. Got some serious rants tonight, eh? Hold on. Okay. We have a 1999 super chat from Young James. Young James, we salute you. I cannot see your comment here in the chat. I don't know if YouTube did something or you just wrote in invisible ink, but we thank you. We salute you, Young James. Thank you for the 1999 super chat, supporting us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Unpopular, for the $2 super chat. Unpopular says, I fired a guy for speaking for Asians. Narcissist. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, man, I just think it's weird. It's just weird. You should be weary of people that come out and say, I speak for all these people. I speak for all of them. It's like, what? What do you mean? You would have to be perfect in order to do that. Literally. You would have to be able to say and think everything perfectly about a community. I just think that's insane. It's just crazy. Of course we need representatives in these communities. This guy likes to speak for Hispanics. This guy likes to speak for blacks. That's cool. That's fine. But just anyone that comes out and is like, I represent the black community. It's like, dude, you're freaking crazy. I'm sorry, bro. Because I could probably find 5 million black people in the world that say, yeah, you don't represent me. It's just total narcissism, bro. So what do you mean? The hell? You think you speak for black people? I should go do a man on the street. Or you think you speak for all Hispanic people? I should like go do a man on the street and like show a picture of you and be like, does this person represent you and your beliefs? And I'm like, who the hell is that? Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, dude, you guys know what I'm talking about. Be very careful of people like that. I'm telling you, man. Be very careful of people like that. People with freaking God complexes. Scary stuff. Scary, scary stuff. Alrighty, guys, if you guys can do me a huge favor and share this video, smash that like button as you guys leave, but please follow me on all my socials. The links are in the description below. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, hit that bell notification, and also make sure to toggle on all because you will not get all notifications. Please share this video far and wide. Follow me on Gab, follow me on Parler, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, all the good stuff, right? All the links are in the description below. And also, guys, if you guys can do me a huge, huge favor, please share this link far and wide wherever you could post a link. It really, really is a big help for me, and it really does help us get this content out. I want to thank you guys. We do this show Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I thank you guys for tuning in, and I thank you guys for listening tonight. Please share this stuff. This is very valuable information, especially if you have a Hispanic family that doesn't understand these things. They need to understand these things because this is dangerous. This is a humanitarian issue. This is not Republican, not Democrat. Until next time, America, stay free.